We are going to try and do this again. Hey, hey, hey. Welcome back to the Virgo channel. Thank you for letting me know that I had no sound. Every now and again that it likes to do that to me. I don't know why. So my apologies. A lot of weird energy. Maybe again we're gonna get into see a very rough unfoldment process within this reading. That's what I feel like. A very turbulent, a connection. All right, for those of you that don't know who I am, my name is Laura, and I am going to do a general message for Virgo. Know that energy is fluid, roles can be reversed. Interpret the message as it best resonates with you. Also, know on this channel, I'd like to dive deep within the reading, so I do look at everything, but we take time to look at the spiritual blocks, the shadows, and see how they play out as karmic themes. Because a lot of times we're connected to people that are more karmic, more keep us stuck in a place of limitation, keep us in a place of pain, really. I mean, every single person that we attract into our lives is a reflection of ourselves, meaning that we've gone through an experience and that experience has made an imprint on our subconscious mind. And that is really what continues to manifest until we learn this spiritual lesson, till we integrate the spiritual lesson. And that means that we embody it, that we have the new consciousness, and so that we then change our habits and our behaviorism. So we wouldn't know where we were spiritually blocked fully. And these spiritual blocks are called everything from shadows to samskaras, which is just a combination of astral energy and emotional energy held in the body as stress. It's what becomes your energy vibration. So again, it's not that you would be a bad person or a mean person or whatever type person to attract that energy into our life. It's usually the experience that made us feel a certain way, that traumatized us, that we didn't know how to deal with that type of energy. So understand how you wind up manifesting. It's not 100, you have to become conscious almost of the unconscious, and you can by understanding what your wounds are. You can want to do that because you can avoid negative karma, which is important when dealing with people that have shadows, because they're coming from a lower vibration. So you might say, well, I want to be like still have a connection with somebody that that is of a lower vibration. It wouldn't be the wisest thing to do, but there are ways to do it where you avoid the negative karmic consequences. All right. Wouldn't be wise to do, and it doesn't mean that you'd be able to have an intimate connection with that person. All right. Want to enter into winning free reading with me? Like the video, subscribe to the channel, write the word of the video in your comment bar. The word of the video is always on the first card that I pull out. Is the underlining energy that tells us why everyone's doing what they're doing. That's really important when you're dealing with people that wear masks, create illusions. The word of the video is regret. Regret. I feel like I just really feel like you're in separation from someone that really just thought that they really saw things playing out a lot differently than how they're playing out. I'm sorry. So, and I feel like the reason why is because this person never usually has to be held accountable. And also it's almost like the spiritual connection that you had, the innocence, the love, there was a sense of, pure innocence, like where you just really had feelings for this person. You didn't see them as a bad person. You saw them when you first met them through their potential, and you treated them like that, which they were not in that vibration. So having someone like you treat them so well, and then give them all this energy, that fed their ego. And now, they're seeing that you're not giving any, and you're not giving anything. And I feel like you're not giving anything because they pretty much abandoned you. And they abandoned you because they had disrespected you. And I feel like you made this person like made them like hold them accountable for what they did. And, instead of them apologizing, they took offense to it. Instead of like giving you what you wanted, they purposely held back from you. And that was extremely triggering. Because it's like weren't asking for anything. You're asking for the bare minimum. And this person's like resisting it. You just feel like I didn't really ever feel like they let you 100% into their life. And they didn't. They kept everything on the surface. And felt like you weren't really, this person wasn't making any plans for the future. They weren't really doing anything. So there was a sense of the relationship not just not going anywhere, but this person wanting you to invest all your time and your emotion and just be there for them when they wanted it. And then you also felt like this person never really shut the door on any previous relationship. You were like, either there was a karmic that was still lingering, or just this person never like ended anything properly, so that there was always people on the back burner, the side burner. And then what it would happen is that you would ask this person to do something, or that you would want them to like give you more emotionally. And what this person would actually do is give more to this person, like in front of you. And I feel like that's what triggered you. It was like almost like a way that you felt like they were trying to like manipulate you into not feeling secure, almost like, well, I'm still holding on to this person, and it's like, obviously you're like, well, then you're keeping me out of your life because you're possibly going to grow more or get back together with this person, but you're not giving me anything. And then what would happen is it's like it would sort of affect the sexual chemistry. Okay, there's like what would happen is emotionally you wouldn't want to be with this person because this person wasn't doing anything to change that they weren't making you feel more secure. What was happening right here and now, this person realizes, I didn't let you into my life because I held space for somebody that I didn't really want to be with, but someone that I never really shut the door on. Why? No real reason, just because relationships don't work out. And I like to, be able to feel like I still have someone. So that's really what it is on a subconscious level, that this person's very codependent. It's like they can't like fill themselves with emotional stability, right? How do we get our emotional stability, our emotional fuel? That's through our friends, through our hobbies, through our interests, through, again, doing it ourselves, not by being codependent. So again, there was a sense that you were like, you want me to be this way for you, but then you're not giving me. So it would actually affect like the sexual the sexual energy, which I think was good, because then what happened is that now you're really starting to look at this person, because you're not looking at them through the filter of, of that love, that lust, that connection anymore. And it's almost like this person realized that, yeah, you have a spiritual connection, but they can damage a spiritual connection. They took the purity away from that spiritual connection. And part of that now is that you're also on guard, so you're not the same. And that's what this person wasn't banking on. It's like that you became colder. Again, which makes this person, again, like they're like them having to look at you differently has to make them look at themselves differently. And that kind of shatters their self-image, which they have to be, because again, I'm going to treat you worse so you can give me more. I mean, because I think that I'm all that in a bag of chips. I mean, I mean, there was no reason for what they did. Now they're like paranoid. They're paranoid, but at one time they wanted to make you paranoid, to be like subservient to them, like, and think that I'm going to scare you. But it's like now they're paranoid. Like you're not going to want to talk to them anymore. That you're not. Like this person's inner child needs to be healed. It's like they played a lot of games, unnecessary games. And it's all about family patterns of like what they perceive is a healthy relationship, which is uh, codependency. It's usually everyone plays a role in the house, and this person wants to play that dominant role, but they're not putting in any effort. They're not doing any energy. They're not doing anything. So it's almost like I feel like the family patterns are addictions and other things because this person isn't 100% in their body. They're not. They're not. They're not. They're delusional. They think, oh, well, the connection, so I don't really have to do anything all the time in space. It's like they disrespected the connection. Now you see them differently. It's like because of that, because they ruined it, the purity of it. And because now you see it like as a contract. And it's like maybe you grew up in a codependent relationship, like parent, you grew up in a home where your parents had a codependent relationship also. So again, when we don't learn, so and that would happen if you wind up, giving too much to this person. But I think it's like you got back into this connection not to get into this karmic contract. I think that you saw the karmic contract because of growing up in a family that your mother and father had that type of dynamic of a relationship, and you're like, I don't want that love hate relationship. It's like I don't want it. It's like everyone's miserable. It's like that would definitely imprint. And I see exactly by the way that this person is. They're being dominant. They're being strategic. Now they're in regret because I think that they thought that you were somebody else, which is what happens a lot of times. A person's not living a real reality. They're living their delusional reality. Yeah, where they're the authority. They need to be seen as the authority. So, like, this person has a lot of anger inside of themselves. And I feel like you too. So it's again the spiritual lesson between with you and this person both hold is forgiveness. We're going to look at your inner child wounds because what we see here really is that this person, it's like they're not going to come back and make anything easier. There's a sense like that time and space is going to like kind of fix this, which is delusional. Like I said, they're not living a real reality, and part of that is because it's easy to live detached when you have a lot of spiritual blocks. It's easier for them to like not really be present. And you say, well, what causes that? People that need to like forgive because they grew up in an environment that was very turbulent, um, and then got into relationships that kind of mirrored that same energy. And it's because they've inherited the same habits and behaviorisms that are like the family patterns passed down. And that's where they grew up like in an alcoholic family or an abusive family or a family that there was adultery. It wasn't where the family worked as a team. It's where it was very codependent. So then they got into relationships and they mirrored those same exact relationships. So this is why this person is like, well, found a way to strategize to have what they want, but you're not going for it. You're not going for it. Like you were much smarter than that. And I feel like it's because you recognize that pattern. And maybe because you dated somebody else that tried to do that to you. So we keep getting the same spiritual lessons over and over and over again until we learn them. And even when we learn them, we still get them. But the difference is there's no emotional charge to them, because it's like, oh, it's like second nature. I've dealt with this energy before, it's no big deal. Where the first time it might have been like, oh, it's like having to set boundaries, or ask for what you need, or stick up for yourself, or tell someone that you love, like where it's at, it's like would be turbulent. Where at one time very emotionally turbulent, after a while it's like, as you heal, it's not, because you're not coming from that level of consciousness of fear anymore. And so what we see here is that at one point your energy possibly was the same as this person's, but not for the same reasons. Meaning, like, you weren't coming from a place of survival just from what you saw from the relationships, like I said, in past relationships. So you needed to learn a spiritual lesson. Otherwise, you would have inherited this karmic contract. And I think that's where you were with somebody that would dominate your energy, someone that would think, oh, like, look at it, like, I love you, and they really do love you, but their love is like out of hand. It's controlling, it's dominating, it's suppressive, you wouldn't feel loved. You would feel, controlled. You would feel like manipulated, because that's what karmic contract is. It's binding you to some childhood trauma of where you're emotionally either not getting anything, or you're getting way too much. It's either one or the other, and it's either one is just not good. So like I said, I feel like you see that within this person, and they feel, they see what they did. It's like, I think that we should look and see really fast what this person is going to do. Not that it's important, like, it's important for the ego to know what they're going to do. What's really more important is why you attracted this person into your life, and what to do with that energy that this person, with all the triggers and with all the games that they've played and all that frustration. What are you supposed to do with that energy? Because you just can't get rid of it. How are you supposed to alchemize it? So what we see here, this popped out that just says, please contact me. I may not respond, but knowing you care opens my heart. So of course, this person is in their ego. The whole point is that they have to come to you. That it's like they don't want to have to do that, because then you hold that, now you're on equal ground, where you're like, well, now it's like, if you come to me, obviously I set the boundaries. This person doesn't like the boundaries. They have a problem with the boundaries. And you don't trust them. Part of the forgiving them is that this person needs to, like, be different, and they have to prove that they're different. And the thing is, they're still trying to figure out how they don't have to do anything. This journey is teaching us one of the most important spiritual lessons, patience. Like, this person thinks that a waiting game is going to, like, make it work, because they know that you're their person. So they're confusing the fact that they're disrespecting this connection the whole time, and they're ruining this connection. Because they're like, well, I think time and space is what's going to fix it. No, it's not. If anything, it makes it worse. They think, because, oh, well, if you're really my twin flame, if you're really my person that I'm supposed to be with, that's abuse. That's abuse. And that's the thing, that this person's sense of is distorted. I can't validate our love in the 3D until I understand our spiritual love in the 5D. Give me time to explore this aspect so I can be a stronger spiritual partner for you. So just because they feel that it's a spiritual connection doesn't mean anything to them. They're not saying that in those words, but what they're saying is, you want me to surrender my ego to you, because we have this spiritual connection. That spiritual connection doesn't mean shit to me. It's like, because I need proof. What I see is what I know, is what I believe, just the facts. This is what I've dated. This is what I've went through. So the ego is involved. But understand, the ego won't win because we all know that love is the energy of the universe, which is the energy of God. And we know that the universe always comes and collects its due. It always does. Is that, but it's going to do it in a way that this person learns. It's like it's just that this person is like, I need proof. And they wouldn't need proof if they didn't have so many bad relationships. And they wouldn't need proof if they didn't come from a bad relationship. It's like, that's the thing. What does it mean? If anything, it might mean that you have more control over me, and I don't really like that idea. Surrender brings us together faster than resistance. It's like, hello, like, I think maybe that's what they're gonna realize. It's like, as because they're not really surrendering to like what you want. Now, if this is like a real twin flame or a soulmate relationship, understand, balance would be a spiritual walk. It's usually balance is a spiritual walk anyway, but balance within this connection would be where both parties want to control the situation. Both parties are like, I'm not giving you control because I don't trust you. Second chakra in balance, where God says, you don't control the relationship. It's like, because then you're in a state of fear and the relationship's not going to work out. You have to, again, be in the passion, the second chakra, and that's passion for life. Like, investing your time in places and things that are going to stir up your soul to, again, counteract that energy. You, again, fight with that energy. And it's let's talk about the problem. Yeah, that's not going to work. That's like, you might as well be talking to the lampshade. It's not, it's, it's a habit. The person's treating you the way that you allowed them to show you. So again, they did that unconsciously. So who are you? Why are you giving so much time to this person? Why are they allowed to take that much space up? They haven't earned it, is what Spirit's saying. They haven't earned it. It's like how you treat you. Well, I really like that person. And Spirit says, so you don't think that they really like you? No, I don't really know. And the Spirit says that you would know if you walked away and you put your energy towards other things that would make that person. Because it's not about love, it's more about respect. That becomes the problem. That's what we see here. There's love here. That's all you see is there's love, but I'm not respecting you. And I'm not respecting you because I don't really understand the spiritual connection. I can't really have it that it doesn't hold water for me because of the person has never been in this type of connection before. I'm praying you'll come back to me after everything that's happened between us. I worry that you won't forgive me and allow me another chance. So this person knows it's like that what they've done. But there's almost like a sense of, I couldn't bear the rejection is also what I'm feeling. Like, I'm going to control it. And so you want to know why this person hasn't come to you. It's like, well, you might not take me back because I know what I did and I really haven't done anything to fix it. Well, I haven't done anything to fix it because I'm afraid that you're not even going to allow me to fix it, because I'm afraid that you're just going to like not have me back. But there is a point, like there is a point that in this person's like day to day that they do think that that you guys will be back together again through time, through patience, through, again, because that they felt real unconditional love and they knew that you were there, a spiritual connection. They can still feel you. Well, I feel like they still feel you because the spiritual lesson hasn't been learned yet. That's why, like, it's like that cord is still going to be there, because there's a sense like you're like angry. But any emotion that you are holding towards this person is allowing that them to have a cord to you and drain your energy. And no shit. It says union is an energy, not a physical construct. Even when we aren't together, I feel our union. And that's why this person actually thinks like maybe we can still get back together. But that energy is still there because it's not like you just shut off your emotions. And that's what they're banking on. That's what they're banking on. And remember, this person is like navigates things from a real mental way. So, they're going to strategize, which I feel like is why you're like, I'm over your strategy. Like, either you be transparent or don't don't do anything at all. Our mission is to be unconditional love. Clearing our programming is a necessary part of opening our hearts too. So this could be, we've been doing a lot of twin flame energy lately. I don't know why. I guess maybe right before the holidays, a lot of twin flame energy, but it's almost like healing, like those programs from childhood and from life is what the twin flame journey actually does. I don't know why my throat is giving me a hard time. Hold on a second. Damn. Okay. So there's a lot of that, like clearing the programs. Otherwise, we wouldn't be able to go into a higher state of consciousness. The planets are activating us to heal and bring us closer together, surrender to the changes. So again, that would be that the universe is involved during the separation process to help you heal. Like during the separation process of twin flames, they do a lot of healing on their own. The whole thing is that during those moments of separation is when the twins realize that they really do love that person that they're in separation with. It's not that they're not angry. Oh, they're angry. They're pissed off a lot of times, but they understand there wouldn't be all that emotion unless they really cared. It's really like activating the healing, because the twin flame brings up all those, wounds from the past, and those wounds have the same karmic theme. And this person activates those karmic themes, where it's again, made me feel not good enough. You made me feel not worthy. You made me feel like, which is exactly what this person was trying to do. They were trying to do that. They were trying to manipulate that, which is again, it's, well, if I could get it underhandedly, neither one of us is being honest right now. Why are we afraid to express ourselves? So this person knows that you're like, have a guard up because of them. But they're like, oh, well, if you just showed me more, this person's used to people like fixing it, coming to the rescue, making it light. And it's like, you're not doing that. You're like, you've gotten to the point where you're like, I don't care if it doesn't work out anymore. This person pushed you to that point and they know it. And that's why they're nervous. That's why they're like, I don't really know how to approach this. When I let myself go deeper into thought of you, I can feel my heart opening. It's like it couldn't be any more twin flamey. Like it's all about, opening up the heart, like healing to the past. This person has a closed heart, so of course they were breadcrumbing you. They're not going to give you anything. A whole cracker? You're getting a whole cracker? Like, I mean, it's like this person would be cheap. They would be someone that was like, like just not of a very high vibration. It's like, I hate to say it, they're not someone that's all nice and fuzzy. That's not their energy. But the irony is they may feel that way with you, and that's a rarity. That doesn't really happen. I miss you. Let's stop running away. Yeah, because this person knows that you're not running anymore. You're like, game over. Like, I'm done. Like, and that's why it's scaring this person. It's like, but you kind of needed to get to the point where you got fully done in order for this person to get the message. I close my eyes and I imagine you're here with me. I'm beginning to understand what it means to be in the 5D. Remember, they were trying to validate it. Well, now they're like, believe me, now it's like that you're not around. They're like, oh, I'm trying to tap into you. Like, are you there? Can I feel you? You know what I mean? That's what this person is now. And it's like, Yeah, now they see, oh, it's a spiritual connection, and you dishonored that you dishonored it, you shit all over it, you treated it badly, and that's why they're afraid to contact you, because it's like, oh, I can't really, how can I like make it like this was a misunderstanding? You know what I mean? It's like they can't. What we are experiencing is part of a larger collective clearing. Don't feel alone because others are healing too. So it's all about healing. It's stirring up a lot of shit in both of you. The fact that you're like, I'm done. Like, it's like, but this person still feels love, but they're like, I don't know. I think I pushed it a little too far this time. I haven't been around. I tried to, like, they tried to play chicken with you. They were pretty much sure that you were going to come back. They were pretty much sure that you were going to fix it. It's like now what they're seeing is like, why was I running away from this to begin with? This is stupid. Why did we, I don't even remember why we were arguing. Like, that's where this person is, like, because they're looking at and seeing what's important. But at the same time, they're like, normally I feel that your energy, and there's a safety there. There's a comfort there. So again, there's also a sense that they can feel that you're pulling away from them. I'm beginning to focus on our mission, and our connection is part of that. So again, so twin flame me. I told you, like, we've been doing a lot of twin flame readings. I don't pick the cards, but it's like twin flame me. It doesn't get any more. It's like where this person is like pretty much saying, like, you can't go now because like my mission in life, my purpose in life is like has something to do with you, my spiritual purpose. You're supposed to be in my life. It's like I'm starting to about it that is like an ordinary relationship, like the ones that they normally have and they dispose of. Oh, I'm bored of you. Hey, we are alchemists. We transform fear into love and shadow into light. Like I said, it can't get any more twin flame me at this point. It's like, because that's a real point of the twin flame connection, is to alchemize those spiritual blocks. And the spiritual blocks of feeling defective, not good enough, shame, resentment, jealousy, all the emotions that are negative, all the consciousnesses that keep us stuck in a place of limitation. And when we grow up in certain environments, because when we see this can't be any more twin flame me, like I said, I'm not even going to pull any more of those cards, because it's like they're in their healing process right now. They're realizing who you are. They are surrendering. The universe has their hand in this. Um, but do they know how they're going to come to you? No, they don't. Their ego is still, they still think that they're running the show. They're not. The universe is bringing them people, situations, experiences that are making them change, helping them to learn, helping them to see things differently. Yes, and you are the main focal point, because again, they have a block here. It's not working out. They don't know why it's not working out. It always works out for them, but why isn't this working out? Why are you making me look at myself differently? Why are you making me change? Why? So again, the universe has its hand in it, but it's utilizing you and a lot of other things to make this person dive deep into themselves. Happening soon. The situation or event in question will develop or unfold soon. So this person is going to contact you. Feel like either right before the holidays or right after the holidays. Again, and because this person feels that you're moving on. Again, they feel like you're moving on, and that you're going away, and that that you're not really, you've been working on yourself, doing something, and that's why they're watching you and saying, oh, well, I feel like my purpose is part of whatever you're doing. And what they see is again that whatever you're doing is also coming into fruition. It's coming into manifestation. They can see it. So this person is like, you're going to move on. You're not gonna, you're like been on like the same track for a long time, making things happen for yourself. And being that this person was not flexible, there's a sense that you don't really care. Like you're just letting, at this point, letting the universe guide you to what's going to manifest for you. You know, that's really what it is. And it's because like there's a part of you that's like, I don't want to deal with like the baggage, the unresolved issues. Like, so you are moving on, and that's what this person knows. It's like there's a part of you that's like, I just want to get to the next phase. Like they didn't fix it. They didn't think that they had to fix it. They didn't think that they had to nurture the connection. They didn't think that they had to do anything. So even though that they were a twin flame connection, it doesn't mean that you have to be in a connection. But also understand this person probably wouldn't have moved their ass if they didn't feel like that you were like moving on and like, I don't want to be with you. It's like they wouldn't change. That's the whole point of the twin flame connection. It makes us step into our best version. Now you can also choose and be like, I will also choose not to be with this person. You have free will to choose, but the universe says, I don't care, like if you're with this person or not. It's like, because I got them to still evolve back into like the energy of unconditional love. They're still moving closer to their, God-given energy instead of the energy that was inherited by the ancestors, the consciousness that was. They're getting back to understanding what unconditional love is and what it had to be more in alignment. So if the universe has to bring more people this person's way, so be it. It happens all the time. You don't have to be with your twin flame. However, at this point, this is what this connection's about, really, where Spirit's saying it's all about the alchemization process and about clearing your karmic programs and clearing those family patterns. And that would be for both of you, not just for this person. It's just, when it's a karmic contract, we know that it's like one person has all the energy, one person emotionally is keeping everything together, and the other person financially is keeping everything together. But no one's really happy. No one's is fulfilled anymore. And so it becomes really imbalanced. And so where that's the thing, you become very constrained, and that's really like what it is. It's like you guys are releasing that, like whatever you both inherited from your heritage, and that was, for a lot of you, was persecution, keeping you down, like control, people controlling you, people like, again, just oppressing you, controlling you. And so there's a sense that right now you're breaking karma with this person too, even how you're playing it out. And it's almost like you're rewriting history. You're changing the narrative of like whatever the programs were that were in your head. Remember, you both inherited family karma. And so I feel like because you're doing different things, that's actually changing the narrative of which needs to happen. Like, in order for you to heal the effects of trauma, you need to understand what the imprint was. And so you understand what the imprint was because, again, this person, even though they knew that they were a twin, they gave it nothing to this. They didn't feel like they had to. They felt like the connection would just sustain itself. And so what they're realizing is, hey, not true. And they also feel like you're over it because, again, it took them too long to figure out. But the relationship brought up a lot of spiritual blocks that were not healed, spiritual wounds that you had, and vice versa. And that's sometimes the relationship doesn't even go as far as to be together. It's just to help you integrate the spiritual lesson, because the fire is sometimes not just passion, it's also anger. It's like this person stirred up a lot, and like, I'm not going to give you anything, I'm going to hold back from you. How they were trying to make you feel. even though they knew who you were, just out of laziness. And so, what is rewriting the history? Well, that I'm not enough. It's like I said something, I did something, I broke it off, and it's like now this person's sorry. They want to come back in. I don't care. It's like because you tried to do that. So it's a hard no for me. And then learning, well, what made me think that, what made this person think it was okay? Oh, because I was genuine. I was too nice. I gave too much. It's like, again, they because they felt it. You had to, yeah, have to contemplate on it. You have to take time alone and really like to go inward is what my spirit's saying, because it's like that's when you're going to be able to like tap into what needed to be healed. And what needed to be healed was the fact that this person never earned their spot in your life. You like, and people do that sometimes by coming in handicapped, by coming in broken, by coming in shy, by coming where they give a lot of mixed messages. So then you take the roles assuming which is what they want, so that they don't have to again be accountable. And so again, this person was tends to like like they, when you met them, they wanted to keep their options open. That's really what it was. They were two-faced, going with the wind, the many options. So again, because they didn't really know what they wanted, they wanted to be a free spirit. They didn't want to be told what to do. Um, and they also know that like it creates a lot of emotional energy like when they're not committed, because again they kind of like the drama, but especially with people that they have passion with, it's a way that they don't have to go that deep. It was a way that they can control. See, I feel like you could read through all of that and you were like, nah, I'm not even gonna do it. But this person like focus was a lot on that, was a lot on it, trying to ignite the passion without really doing that much. By again, like by talking, by doing a lot of talking, but I don't really feel like following through with like their actions, the grounding, and that's what you wanted to see. You wanted them to like show you. So I don't really feel like let's pull a few just to see if they're going to do anything, because I don't see it and I don't see you doing anything. I see like this person might come back because again there's a creative bond, there's a spiritual connection, and this person will give you like that, but it's like you don't trust this person. It's like they ruin the relationship. And that's what I said in the beginning. It's like they didn't think that they could ruin the twin flame connection. But I feel like, it's almost like you're too afraid because of everything that they did for them to just come back into your life. That's what I see there. So they're going to come back and they're going to promise you and but it's like you don't trust them, and it's because they really haven't shown you. And that's the thing. And would they change? I'm going to pull one card. Well, there would be love, but no, they wouldn't be, because they tend to be very critical, tend to be very cold, unemotional. So it's not that they don't have feelings for you, but this person, how they live their life, it would be very cold. So, I mean, do they have feelings? Yes. Do they need healing? Yes. This is why you shouldn't be like entertain it when they come back, because again, they also kind of treated you like an option and figured, well, I'm going to ignore the spiritual connection. I'm going to downplay it. But then I'm also going to not just downplay it, but that's also my golden ticket that's going to make sure that everything's going to work out for me. So by you actually making it not their golden ticket, well, Again, this is why they're in a place of like hopelessness. They don't know what to do. So you weren't supposed to like change things around on them. Now you're forcing them to look at themselves, and they don't like that. It's again, you're shattering their self-image of who they want to perceive that they are. But really what it's doing is it's making this person finally take a look at themselves and look at what an ass they've been making of themselves and how they just disregarded this connection. And now they need to be uncomfortable. And now they need to feel the pain because they're going to feel it if it's a real like twin flame connection. It's like because they jeopardized the relationship. It's like they ruin the purity of it. It's like you're no longer like open to them. Like in the beginning, there was an innocence to it. The person, like without them even having to work for it, because it was a spiritual connection. They didn't realize, oh, well, I should put a little effort in. They were like, oh, look at all this for free. I don't even have to do anything. And look how much you like me. Well, let me like just take full advantage of it. And what they did was they sabotaged the connection for you. That's what I see here. Now, there's always going to be one person that tells me, I'm going to get back together with them. Well, listen, you have free will to choose, but you're still, at the end of the day, they're still not an emotional person. So you'll be with them, but you won't be happy because they're not, that's who they are. You would be with them to teach them how to be more and understand. If you grew up in a family that didn't emotionally give you anything, well, guess what? That's going to feel like not good. Understand if you're strong and you're interactive and doing, and they're giving you other ways, maybe like you'd be okay with it for a little while, but the twin flame comes in to realize that to teach, this person's not emotional. And the thing is, you never had it. That's just one example, but you reparent. And you reparent by showing this person, and what you see is that you don't need it. There's an essence of, I really need it. No, and then Spirit says, no, you become it, then you don't need it, because then you attract it. And so that's the thing. The twin flame would help you transmute that particular, spiritual block with a numerous others. But what we see is that the person would be difficult. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, unless you're building an empire, it wouldn't really be worth it. Well, what does this person bring into the table? But you have to say, well, I need to know what this person, like why I'm attracting this person into my life, right? Because, it's not just the lack of support, but what else? Like, what else were they supposed to teach me? What else did they do for me? Did they push me into discovering a gift about myself, or did they open up a new doorway, create some new awareness? Abuse, that's card number 1. These are the inner child wound cards. And so usually when we have a spiritual block in childhood, right, we like inner child wounds, well, then they tend to play out as karmic themes throughout our life. So emotionally not getting what you need. I mean, just because this kid is like literally physically abused, you can tell. I feel like for you, it was more like emotionally abused, psychologically abused, which is what this person was pretty much trying to do, and not giving you anything, which is what's so bad. Again, and when you were abused in childhood, you'll always have a better connection to source. Our psychic abilities come from that. Remember, the child that survives thrives because they have learned to have a better connection to source through their intuition, through gut, inner knowing. Claircognizance is through having to sense all the time. Clairsentience, living in survival mode. So having a better connection to source. And I say survival mode because if you were abused in childhood, well, it meant that you weren't safe. You didn't feel safe. So again, you become highly sensitive. You become more sensitive, become psychic sensitive. And then when that happens, you're attracting, like you're able to like attract things, and you're able to see things, and you're able to manifest. And that's the thing for later. So it's actually a gift. Imagination. Again, the child that survives thrives, because also when you're in survival mode, you detach, disassociate. We go into that imagination mind. And so it's very easy for you to manifest. But I also feel like it's a gift, where maybe you didn't think that your imagination is a gift, but it is. It's a strong, um, your creativity is linked to that. It's being able to have foresight. It is a survival mechanism, but there's also that connection to source. You have healing capabilities then, which isn't uncommon if you grew up in an environment where there was abuse. That would be part of your healing path, like spirit being like, well, in order for you to heal, you have to be on this path. Because there was no security, there was no safety, like especially if there was abuse, you couldn't really go to those people for the support. So it's like you had to become your own security, your own safety. I thought a card fell. It didn't. Okay. Hope. And maybe at one point you lost your hope. Obviously, if you grew up in a certain environment where you felt like it wasn't safe, and where you were suppressed all the time, if someone took your energy, you wouldn't have hope, but understand as a way to escape. You did that through your imagination, and you did that by having a better connection to source. And because again, you went inward, that because children can't run away, but what they do is they go inside. How many do we have there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so that was 6. And then I wanted to pull, I like to pull from this other deck, this Fearless deck lately. I don't know why, but I just do. So we will then put it all together. Boundless energy. And soul's calling. Listen to the whisper of your soul guiding you. Align actions and values. So it's almost like spirit saying you had to clear certain energies from your childhood that you were not aware of, and you've suppressed them. Again, when a child goes inward, they go deep within inside of themselves. They're detaching, they're disassociating. They believe it or not, they're up in their mind. They almost like check out. So it's like they didn't remember. So in shamanism, they would say that they were fragmented pieces of soul, that this person just doesn't remember, which is you. You just don't remember what the experience was that was traumatizing, and don't really understand like how it affected you, or really how it was playing out in your life. But it was playing out in your life by attracting people that really didn't put any effort in, acted like they really didn't care, psychically, emotionally, and and mentally. This person tried to act like you were less than. You grew up in that type of environment, because again, abuse, psychological abuse, emotional abuse from being suppressed, and really not having the safety and the security that a parent is supposed to provide. So you were more in your psychic mind. You weren't in the physical. You were again inside of yourself, which is helping you now to again to listen to your what your purpose is, to be on your purpose. So, and I believe that you put energy into that, because this is boundless energy. Harness your inner vitality to fuel your journey in life. So you're making things happen right now. As Spirit says, don't spend your time with this person. This person would again just block your energy. They think that they're part of your journey. They're not. They blew it. They could have been, but they blew it. That's their karma. That's what they're gonna see. They're gonna see, you're the one that got away. You're the one that I could have. You're the one I ruined it. And Spirit's saying, follow your path. It's again, and harness the energy, and and just create right now, because what you're doing is you're aligning your actions to your values. And then when you're doing that, you're aligning your character to, again, the highest state of consciousness, and then you're attracting people that resonate with your energy, not with the energy of your past wounds where you were abused. That imprint is still there. That imprint is really, really there because you haven't lived as many experiences, Spirit says. So Spirit says, now it's all about you reparenting yourself, becoming that security and safety for yourself by, again, not suppressing yourself, going out into the world. Again, your soul's calling. Be that energy of, like, the more that you do, the more energy that fills you up. Because again, what is energy? Energy is prana. That's the energy of source. That's the energy of spirit. That's what spirit is. Spirit, God is source. And that's the energy of the universe. And that's the energy of unconditional love. And when you are aligning your actions and your values with what you're doing, again, which is unconditional love, you become an energy magnet to be unconditional love. That is what's going to transcend the limitation of your mind. Again, the subconscious mind that believes somewhere that you're not deserving of, because that's what you've lived. That's the experience that you lived. And Spirit says that's, again, not a real reality. That's one reality that could play out. But another reality is that you give it to yourself, and then the universe is abundant, and you get it from all different angles of the universe. So even if you wind up with a person that didn't give it to you, it wouldn't matter. It wouldn't affect you, because you're like, well, I get it myself. I don't need it from that person. Where you might say, at one point, I always needed to be with someone that really acknowledged my birthday, that really acknowledged this, that really made big things. What happens is, you're like, after like the fifth husband or the 15th wife, like, I didn't need that anymore. I learned to give it to myself. And Spirit says, right. And then when you give it to yourself, you attract it, you become it. It's like, so, and then what you see is you don't need anything outside of you. The kingdom of heaven's inside of you. If you can imagine it, you can create it, and you can imagine it, because that's one of your gifts. And Spirit's saying, it's like, you have source inside of you. You don't really need anything, even though that you've been around people that have given you nothing and treated you like crap and tried to make you feel less than. They see your power. They see your power. Don't waste your time with these people. Spirit's saying, go on your soul's path. Listen to your soul, what your soul is telling you to do. I'll fill you up with energy. You'll become that energy of unconditional love, because you have to reparent yourself. And then, the universe knows what you want more than you know what you want. So the universe will bring you someone of better energy than this stupid person. It's like they need to learn. It's like they had it and they ruined it. Stupid. Just stupid. It's like it ruined it. They shot themselves in the foot thinking like who they were. And really, Spirit says, ends off on this note. Attention, I am attentive to all that manifests within me. When negativity rises within me, I transform it into light, love, and hope. My love for others is unconditional. I forgive. My desire to improve is constant. I am firm, brave, and hardworking. So Spirit's like, don't give any more attention to this person, because you're on your soul's path. You're, again, creating a new life that doesn't involve this person. It's like, that's their karma. It's like they can think, however, again, that they're going to make it. They would obviously need to think that to come back to have mud on their face to learn the lesson, because there's a sense that their ego is going to be they're going to have to surrender their ego one way or the other. Like whether they do it because of love with you or spirit's going to do it. Like by, again, you just being like, peace out, I'm out of here. And then they have to like look at themselves. And spirit says, don't look at like that person. Don't feed it any more energy. Put all your time, put all your energy, put all your, what you would give to this person, put it into your soul's path. It'll give you energy. It'll take you to new places, new destinations, and really the universe will conspire to make a way where there is no way just for you. And along that path, you will meet people that are more in alignment, and you will rewrite the story. You will recondition the neurological pathways within your mind where it made it like almost acceptable. You will erase that imprint by becoming someone different, where you'll say, yeah, I remember that, but it's like I also learned that I take care of myself now. I don't wait for anyone to give me anything. That's the difference. It's like I realized that I used to want that and need that, but I don't need that. But now that I don't need it, I don't have a problem getting it. And that's really what spirit's saying. Don't give this any more attention. It's like put your attention to where you want to grow, what you want to see manifest in your life. It's like you're not, if you were driving, you wouldn't be looking to see, oh, what's going on off the cliff. We're not driving off the cliff. We're looking to where we want to go all the time. And we set ourselves up for success. And that's what spirit's saying. You're doing that. This person like lost their chance because they took you for granted in this story. All right, so let me see what we got going on here. Good luck in changing my number off on a flight next week, looking for a new opportunity. Making a sad story into something happy by loving. Well, that's what you should do. That's how you transmute that energy. And that's hey, maybe it's Lita, that's your story. Because it's again, it's like you're like, you can come back all you want, but I'm not taking you back because you ruined the connection. You didn't think that you could ruin this connection. It's like because you still feel my energy. Well, there's still unconditional love that will always be there. You're a past family, you're a past karmic mate, but never I'll never see you the same way ever again. Really, that's what you're saying. It's like, and because of that, it's like you learn something about yourself, which is I have to be with someone that's actually going to bring this much to the table, that's going to act a certain way. And what you're seeing is, wow, I'm a lot stronger, where this person was banking on the fact that you wouldn't be. Would I ever be able to get love? I have only been giving, so done with everything and everyone. I think that you have to become love is the whole message here. Like when you attract like this type of energy, someone's so cocky, it's like because you give them time. You have to think about it. You meet someone that's successful. Like I'm talking about someone that's really successful. Maybe they have their own real TV show and they have their own company and they travel all over the world and they have opportunities. Do they have time to talk to just anybody? People that are really successful, they don't sit there and talk to some random person that gives them a few breadcrumbs. They only give their time to people that are literally fueling what they're doing. When you look at any successful person, and it could be someone just successful in your community, you'll also notice successful people when you sit at their table, they're talking about where they're going, what they're doing, what they're excited about. When you sit at other people's tables that they don't have good confidence, they're talking about each other. They're talking about their problems. They're talking about, so like, I feel like you were dealing with somebody that, first of all, just wasn't on the same, that is not on the same vibration. However, your vibration, Gabby, is not as high if you're not investing in yourself. You're still looking for love. There's a belief that you can't have it. You can have it. You've only lived the ones where you haven't lived because you haven't done anything different. And that you're like, well, what am I supposed to do? Well, again, it's like people want to be with someone that they tend to think has a better life than them, is doing something in life. And also, they want to be with someone that they feel like they're not going to have to take care of, that emotionally they don't have to take care of. Meaning, like, you get into a relationship and you might be always available. So, this person then is like, oh, well, you're expecting me to like give you, like, to entertain you, to always be with you, even when you don't. It's again, it's people have dated other people that have done that. So unfortunately, people, when you get up to a certain age past their 20s, usually people pretty much have, like, I've dated around and I dated the same type of people. So the thing is, if you're really investing in your own life, it allows that person to come in the way that they want to come in, and emotionally you're not so invested. It doesn't matter if they come and go. And you don't have to sleep with that person. You don't have to do anything with that person. You can, if the person really likes you, but they want to get into a very sexual connection, they can, like, maybe do that with a lot of other people where they get to know you at the same time. It's like you wouldn't care. You would be like, I don't really care what the hell you do in your downtime. It's like, if as long as you're treating me well, as long as you're, because I feel like in today's day and age, a lot of people want to date somebody that they're like, I want to make sure that you're not with anybody else. And that's it's next to impossible, to be honest with you. It's like you're going to meet somebody that is dating like 3 and 4 people at a time and not really emotionally getting connected to anyone. And so you have to make sure that you emotionally are giving to yourself so that you stand apart, so that you're different. And then what happens is that you don't care whether the person's in your life or not. And then you understand, you can also, when you're vibing at a high enough vibration, then you can connect to someone that actually is of more like-minded, that maybe isn't dating like 10 people at one time. You know what I mean? It's like, because they're busy in their life, where they're investing in their life, that they don't have time for that. They don't want to do that. They want to connect with somebody that's more, serious about their life, but somebody that's successful in their own life. The issue is that I feel like you haven't developed enough of your own life, Gabby. So there's a sense, like, of that, where people like would assume, well, you want me to do that for you, and they're not going to do it. It's like, and the way today, I don't like the way of today, of that you'd have to date a few people at one time, but it's like that's what you're going to see, that there's a lot of people that are, you don't have to be with any of them. And understand, you're going to date, like, there's going to be a lot of duds, so it would be better for you to join things, and that you meet somebody that has a common interest, that they're actually can form an emotional bond to you. It's also like how you're trying to date. I feel like if it's through that chat, through, like, chat lines or whatever, it's like everyone's a liar. It's like you might as well, like, go down to the jazz bar every week and meet the people that hang out there, or the pool hall, or whatever it is that you have a hobby or interest in. And you meet people through being interactive in life, and those relationships, you build bonds. That's the way that it can still happen organically. Otherwise, it gets harder and harder and harder, because you keep trying to date people on the chat line, and they're all liars. Like, you're dating people, and why you see that is that there's a big spiritual disease that's actually happening right now. Met a 92-year-old lady today. She has terminal tumor. Help me move it. Help me move. Wait, lady today. She has terminal tumor. Move it. She went from exhaustion to had energy and could so happy for her that moving. Of what, the cancer moving? I don't understand what that is. Thank you, Soul's family, for your love and support. Okay, I'm just bonkers. Okay, love people, internet. When I'm sad, if I can help others make me happy, should. Well, I think that is good. Does anyone have any questions for me? Otherwise, if not, I am gonna go. I think that was the one question that I saw, which is, are you ever gonna meet someone? It's like, yes, but the more that you're involved in your life, the more that you can see it. I feel like we need to see those little wins. And the little wins is, oh, I went out to like whatever it is, to the comedy club or to like a bar or to like the dance hall or whatever. And I had a few people talk to me. Then you're able to actually see that. It's like, well, see, I'm not like I'm attractive. People find me attractive. Then you can use your imagination to be like, I could see how I would be asked out at the dance hall because every Friday I go, I talk to these people. Otherwise, then you're not feeling good too. You're just around people that are, guys like to flirt. People like to flirt. Guys, girls, everybody likes to flirt. So if you put yourself out there, it doesn't mean you have to do anything, but you need to see yourself be like, well, I'm an attractive person. I'm a good catch. It's like that'll help you. And then being very interactive in your own life. That is discussing about what happened in Wisconsin. How do we learn to build trust again? Trust is something that happens over time. A person has to earn it. They have to earn it. So if you're balanced, where you're, like you said, are busy in your life, like you have time to work out, time for your friends, time for your job, time for hobbies, interests, like you're interactive in your life, you're not so close up to the picture. So this person has to prove themselves. And it's only through allowing this person in and having boundaries and having them be respectful to your boundaries and open communication can that actually happen. And there's got to be a want, and understand it's a lot easier to meet someone else than a lot of times repair something, because people are creatures of habit. I just want to be honest with you. It's like, it doesn't mean that they can't change, but a lot of times by the time that they change, it's like you're over it. And it's like, because they push you, kind of like in the story that we just said. It's like this person, by the time they finally got it, it's like, I'm over you. You shit all over the relationship and you think that you can come back. It's like, just for principle, this Virgo was like, hell to the no. It's like just because it doesn't mean that I don't even have a connection to you. It's because of everything that you did. How dare you? How dare you be so disrespectful? And they know it. And they know it. That's why they're afraid. I'm glad, Doris. You're welcome. So that's what you have been giving me strength for past 9 months. Well, I'm so glad, Gabby. It's like you deserve better. You can have better. It's like, but it is about like creating more new life, to see yourself differently, to be around different people. You'd be surprised. It's like you'll always know when you start something new. Let's just say you say, hey, I'm starting a podcast, and you tell your friends and you tell everybody, and watch how many people really support you. And what you'll notice is it's usually people that you don't even know that are supporting you the most, that are screaming your name the loudest. And so sometimes being around a different environment allows you to see yourself differently, and that's what you need to see, be like, well, I see that I am attractive, I see that I can have, and that's where you are right now. You need that. It's like, and you're welcome. Thank you. I'd never go back to X, but do want to be able to trust someone again. Well, that is why I'm saying it's like you would again, your issue is not really even to like trust. It's like you don't want to be paranoid either with the next person that comes into your life. So the way to emotionally create balance is make sure that you don't lose yourself. And in that you have good discernment because you're not so close up to the picture. If this person is the only thing that's giving you emotional support, well, then you can see why you would get hurt. You can see how people get tricked. When you have other people in your life and you've created strength, it's like even if a person tried to do it, you're able to then set boundaries and do things. And what you put up with before, you would never put up with again. That's the one good thing about really toxic relationships. You're like, oh no, I can't do that again. Like, thank you so much. I'm so glad connecting with each other. Amazing. Bless you all. That makes sense. Yeah, you have to have strong boundaries, but a way to have strong boundaries is make sure to be really invested in yourself because it's hard when they come on strong and they're like, "Oh, come on," and this and that, and, da, 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 and you have an emotional bond. It's much easier to say, "I'd really love to, but I'm going tango dancing with wands. See, I can't, I'm not going to be around, so I can't." Like you have other things. It's like that's your boundary. I can't. I'm in, like I have other engagements. It's like you have to work your way into my life. I'm not just going to drop shit in my life. You weren't in my life. You weren't any part of support in my life. You haven't been. So you have to make your way into my life and do what you need to do to prove it to me. And if that's too much work, then guess what? You don't like me enough because you didn't have a problem treating me the way that you treated me. That's the karma. And that's what this person knows. That's why they're like trying to figure out how to strategize on how to come back. It's like when really it's like, hey, you have to surrender your ego. And that's why in the story, this person's like, I'm not getting back together with you because you're still trying to manipulate bullshit. It's like, yeah, you have feelings for me, but I don't like the way that you love. And that's really what it is. It's like a controlling love. It's a dominance love. It's like it's a punishing type of love. And it's like you don't need it. And it's about like making sure that you don't wind up with someone that does that by embodying it yourself, giving yourself that love, connecting to other people that are emotionally going to fulfill you in many different ways. And that's the hobbies, interests, interactions that you have during the day, where you're putting your time, what you're taking into your life, and then also setting boundaries. I can't because I have X, Y, and Z going on. It's like you're commanding respect. And the reason why you have to do that is because when that person comes into your life, you're not just the only one training that person on how you want to be treated. But when you have a lot of other people in your life that are respecting you, well, they're holding them accountable too. A lot of times people don't want you to be like, they want to isolate you till they can get comfortable. It's like, no, 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 no. It's not, it doesn't need to be done that way. It needs to be done that they come in and they have to earn their way with you, with around all your friends. It's like, because they have to be a stand-up person. They're not going to treat you one way and then another way. That's not, it's again, it's like, no, they have to come in correct. And like I said, and they see all your friends treating you a certain way, the way that you're treating yourself. And then if and there's any funny business at all, well, you can easily emotionally detach because hey, you're not really giving me anything emotionally anyway, and I've been doing it myself. And I have all these other people that are emotionally giving to me. So that it's like you're not affected at all. And that's why I'm saying it's like you can easily detach from somebody that potentially has like can like do harm because they're a karmic. They don't have good intention. All right, lies so much, and everyone believes the lies. They are that that are good. Well, it's again, those karmic people, that's what they do. They do lie and they create facades and they create illusions because they don't like who they are. And they also know that they should be on a different vibration, but they're usually lazy. Understand soulmates. There's an opportunity for people to step up into their more divine essence. A lot of times you're dealing with someone that just doesn't want to do it, is lazy, or is like this stupid person in the story that was like, I'm just going to manipulate and try and see what I can get away with because I don't really think that I have to do it because I think that you just love me that much. We just have this connection. Surprise, surprise. Like, it's like, I don't think so. All right. Well, if no one has any other questions, I am going to take off. I'll be on maybe later or tomorrow, but thanks for joining me. Thank you again. Love you all. Thank you for sharing your energy with me. I'll talk to you later. Bye.